Oh no, seems I've hit it a bit too hard. Last week saw the release of a video that I really struggled to put out. It was about health, wellness and my experience with having tests for prostate cancer, and it sparked an awful lot of questions. One of those questions was about a particular bike, and it occurred to me that a lot of my new subscribers won't know anything about why I'm riding it. So today we're going to be making a few changes to it, and I'll explain to you how I ended up with it. My name's Ben Chapman, and I've rode bikes for as long as I can remember. I love nothing more than jumping on a train and going to explore. I just love the freedom of having a bike. Originally we called it the pink bike, but there's actually a lot more to it than that. Last year I was put in contact with a gentleman that could spray bikes, and I have no bike building experience whatsoever. Everything that I've ever done with a bike has been supported by Team Cycles, and the technicians have bared with me and helped me along the way. But over the last year of making these videos, I've learned a little bit more every single time I've done something. And I hope that you've learned something too. Today we're going to be upgrading this, and it's originally from Halfords, and it spends a lot of the time on my turbo. And a few beady-eyed viewers were trying to find it last week on the internet, but you won't be able to. In 2 weeks' time I'm heading to Tenerife, and I'd love to be able to take this bike with me, but it's not ready for outdoor riding yet. So without boring you with a montage of me driving to Team Cycles, let's head over to Team Cycles. Last year I met Martin on Gumtree. I was looking for a rim brake bike for winter. Martin, a bus driver, was buying bikes off eBay, painting them and making his own decals as a hobby. Martin loves cycling, but he was currently injured, and this is what he was doing to pass the time. So myself and Martin took an old Halfords Boardman 8.9 and made it our own. With parts sourced from second-hand sites, the total build cost very little, and today we're going to be spending a little bit more money on it, ready for my trip to the sunshine. So a brief overview on how this bike originated, and it's actually taken a bit of a kicking on the turbo, and today we're going to change a few things, and hopefully I can get this bike ready to climb some hills in Tenerife, because it's still the lightest bike I have. Last year I partnered up with Novaride, and they do these pretty swanky oversized jockey wheels on a carbon ceramic hanger. And I've had this gold one on the bike for the last year on the turbo, and Novaride have sent me a new one, a red one, because I think red goes with the pink a lot better. So today we're going to be putting this on, but that's not the only change we're making, because I still think I can get this bike a little bit lighter. But before I add new parts, I always love just to give the bike a little bit of a spruce up. Whilst everything's off of it, it's just so much easier to get to those hard to reach places. Better than the gold?
Way better than the gold, mate.
Much better than the gold.
Suits the thing.
Clean.
Right down.
So my next question to you is, this is a road bike, I'm taking it to Tenerife. The ups are up and the downs are down, but I'm currently using non-carbon brake pads.
Okay.
So we need to change them whilst the wheels are out.
Easy done.
I'd be really interested to hear from anyone that's got any experience with carbon rim brakes, because these are actually £10 per set, where the likes of these Mavic X Leaf rim brake pads, they're £20 a set. Am I going to get double the stopping power for double the money? I don't know. I just asked Young and he said its rim brake is always going to be rubbish. Well, actually, he didn't say rubbish, but he swore. And I don't like to beep out. My age being a factor, I'm probably a lot more efficient playing with older bikes than newer bikes. But even this was, well, quite hard because the old calipers had been seized in with some salt. So as you just saw there in that last caption, we had to bang them out. So hopefully these ones don't have that problem. Oh no, seems I've hit it a bit too hard. Do we have any of these calipers? Cross is averted, found some, although this one's going to say Aztec on it. Do I change all 4 so they say Aztec on all of them? Or do I stick with the old 2012 105 caliper casing? As mentioned in last week's video, I partnered up with Extra UK this year and they've supplied me with a couple of pairs of physique shoes that I can use on some of my bikepacking trips, and they've also provided me with some saddles as well. So another 3D printed saddle. This is the Physique Vento and this is going on the pink bike. That's that, a really easy fix and a beautiful saddle. I'm not even going to weigh it because I know this old Pro Logo one that I put on just to sort of cut costs, because originally this was a budget build. It cost near to nothing and I found this in the shed, so I just put this on, but now we've got a little bit of support, so it's nicer to put on some nicer stuff. Next modification that we're going to make is going to be the handlebars. The handlebars that are on there at the moment are 3T carbon ones. They're a little bit more narrow than this, but these have got a really nice flat profile, and when I'm climbing I really love to palm the handlebars like that. So I just want to try these out just to see what they're like. We think they might be a little bit heavier, but we are going to weigh them. So these are the 3T bars. They were actually provided to us for free because it was a budget build from Foxy, who you would have seen on the channel previously. He bought a couple of pairs of these in the sale, and I think pretty much all of us now run our bikes with these handlebars. But just for testing purposes, we're going to take them off. Oh, and if you're wondering what this is called a Maggie, and it's by a company called Draft. And what it does is it goes in here, like this, like that, it goes in there like that, and it holds your mobile phone whilst you're on the turbo. It's magnetic, it's pretty cool. Based off last week's video, I'm sticking to the diet, I'm sticking to the protein intake, so not forgetting. So handlebars off, a little bit of a difference in the width, but these are definitely lighter, I can feel it already. 0.21 kilograms. 0.34, so it's marginal, and I've changed the saddle so we know that we're probably evening it out. The Bontrager Elite Aero VRCFs, and they came off another bike, and I think they were going to be binned when we did the refit at the shop, so I took them knowing that I might need them one day.
Traditional wrap, you would wrap from top to bottom, so bottom to top, sorry, with either a figure of 8 or a section of wrap around the hood clamp. You can also do a reverse wrap, which is not very common, but people like it as well. So you can start from the top, and go from the bottom. You don't need tape, so it looks neater.
Few changes made already this morning. We've changed the handlebars, we've changed the saddle, and we've put on a brand new derailleur hanger. The bike doesn't have any bottle holders on it, so I'm going to put these on. We'll see if they match, I'm not too sure at this point, but I'm definitely going to need some water in Tenerife. Well, as things go, I think that looks pretty smart. What do you reckon? Now, I briefly mentioned at the beginning of this video that this bike got damaged and we still don't know how. It's not a crack, it's more of a puncture wound, and it's almost like something's flicked up and hit the bottom of it. It has been repaired, but it's still showing a little small, tiny inkling of a hole. So just here is where it got repaired, but there's still a tiny little puncture hole there. Now, I don't think it's that dangerous to ride by any means, but I just want to get this covered in case we get water in it. Unfortunately, we don't have anything at the shop that can actually just fill that tiny hole, whether it be filler or just a little bit of carbon paste or something like that. So I'm going to put some sellotape over it. Sellotape? Sellotape. Sellotape. So after saying I was going to use sellotape, I've been provided with this gun and some glue and got told not to get it on my clothes or my fingers. I'm going to put it on some cardboard and I'm going to fill that hole up. Just doing jobs that I don't understand again. Now, not the most professional job in the world, but I'm sure it's better than sellotape. And it's filled the hole, gone hard quite quickly. It's not pink, it's grey. But who's going to see it? When I built this bike up, I used some nondescript Chinese rim brake rims. And I just covered the logos on them because I didn't like them, because it was a budget build. I'm still going to keep these wheels, but what I want to do is change this cassette because it's got a little bit of surface rust on it, and I also got this from Recycle Bike, which is the bike shop in which you can recycle your parts. So today I'm going to splash out and I'm going to put a new cassette on it. Beady-eyed viewers may notice that this wheel doesn't have a tyre on it because it's here. Continental 5000, quite an old tyre to be quite honest, but because it's quite an old bike, you can only get up to 25 inside that frame. So I'm limited on tyres, but I don't like this brown wall. I'm sure it was probably a lot better colour than that when I first put them on. So I think new tyres is a must, but on a budget. So I'm going to see what tyres we have at Team Cycles and then make a decision whether I'm going to change the tyres or not. No, I've decided to stick with the latter. I'm going to keep my own tyres. Tyres are just too expensive at this point. Tyres are expensive, do you know that?
Yes, very.
We were just saying that it's actually cheaper to put tyres on your car than it is to put tyres on the bike. And people wonder why no one rides bikes anymore. We're here trying to get people to ride more bikes, but it's actually more efficient to put tyres on your car.
Correct.
It's definitely something still quite magical about rim brake bikes. I don't care what anyone says. They are incredible. And they look better as well. I like the look of the front brake. Save the rim brake. Not a necessary upgrade, but over the last couple of years for the pink bike I've been running the same as on all my bikes, a Wahoo Roam for navigation. Now the guys over at Wahoo have sent me their new one, the Wahoo Ace. Now I've been told it is somewhat bigger, but the benefits are in kind, and yeah, what's going on? I said this was the lightest bike I've got. We've put on a lighter saddle, but we've added a little bit of weight with the aluminium bars, removing the carbon ones. So we'll see what it is now. 7.76. So I've dropped 1 kilogram. Hello, sir.
Hello, how you doing?
Just finished building this. It weighs half of what the mountain bike weighs on drop bars. 7.
And it's half of that new Wahoo you've put on. Hang on, let's lift it up for you, mate.
There you go, look. That's the difference. At least I know where I'm going.
It's got a bell on, hasn't it? It's like an integrated bell.
Ding ding!
So there's one less component to put on the bars, so... Kindle on there as well, so you can read your books as you ride along. In all honesty though, the wind sensor thing is quite new, isn't it? So
it is cool. Well, I'm excited to use it anyway, but these mountain bikers...
Sorry, Reese.
I like to remove screens when it comes to cycling. I'm more about unplugging when it comes to cycling. So
well, it doesn't get more unplugged than this. It's mechanical 105 on the oldest. I put these. So I didn't say this in the video. I put these in the dishwasher. They were filthy. They were second hand 105 calipers. Put them in the dishwasher. They came up absolutely lovely. It's still my favourite bike.
If you get a little bit of acetone, you might be able to rub that
105 off. Yeah, I have faded it a bit. A fantastic build. Started off as a budget winter bike, which is slowly getting lighter and lighter and becoming a bike with its own personality. Stay tuned to see how this bike handles in Spain over the next few weeks. Please remember to comment, like and subscribe, and I'll see everyone on the next one.